deciding when to harvest is probably one of the first biggest make or break decisions by the winemaker. So everybody does it a little bit differently. What we need to do is go out into the vineyards and kind of get a collective sample of what the average bricks are, that's the sugar density, what we're looking at as far as TA, what is the tannin structure like within the block. Now, looking at one entire block, there might be variation within it. So what we'll do is we'll split it up, depending on the soil types, depending on root stocks, obviously variety type as well. We'll take the samples. You can see those lined up right here. We're going to be doing cluster sampling. Some people do grape. It differs by each winery. So we're going to bring, we want roughly 30 clusters. We're going to weigh them out. We'll kind of do a little small home winemaking project here where we'll crush the grapes, get that juice. We're going to test it for the bricks. That's primarily what we're looking at down here, and then up in the laboratory they'll be looking a little deeper into the acidity of the grapes, the tannin structure, color, all that kind of good stuff. And those numbers are really what's going to allow Rob to specifically say, okay, let's bring these in. Just taking a simple measurement of bricks, which is the sugar density of the juice. We have a handheld refractometer here. We don't have to use the old school hydrometers anymore, which is fantastic. So simply take it, a little pull, put that on there. We'll take a couple just to get the average, and it's that simple. We'll do a little bit more intensive chemistry up in the laboratory, but this is it for now. Once we get up there, we'll also do a tasting of the juice, because although we like to have these numbers, ultimately it just comes down to whether the juice is good or not. After the samples are prepared down at the crush deck, again we were looking at just some simple chemistry down there, measuring the bricks or the sugar density of the grapes for each individual vineyard block that we're going to be potentially utilizing for the final blend of Jordan Cabernet. We're going to bring those samples up here into the laboratory. We'll put them through a little bit more of an extensive juice panel. We're looking at some of the other parameters. But really, as much as we look at the wine as far as numbers goes, or the juice I should say, it really does just come down to taste. So what we'll do is we'll go through each one of these. This is a red juice wine. It hasn't had any skin contact on it yet, hence the orangish color. So, and it's really just more of getting the feel of the wine. And the objective of all this is to decide when are we going to do that harvest. So we're bringing them up here. We're smelling, we're looking for any kind of vegetative quality, any kind of off character. Any kind of vegetative quality would signify that perhaps it's a little young and not quite ready yet. We'll taste it as well. So really it's just paying attention to the balance of the sugars in the juice, the acidity, again that greenness, any kind of vegetal character. But then you also want to be paying attention to the viscosity. How does it feel on the palate? All these are very important. And really you got to remember that it's not about the chemistry in the end product. It's all about whether the wine is good or not. And so this is one of the first steps in that process.